Hey guys, welcome back to the Property Tank. Pumped for this one. We're talking about FOMOing into these property markets. Let's talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, hot markets can do this to us, can do this to us as property people and property investors. So it's super important that we educate ourselves so we know what's driving these factors. Why is there an element of FOMO in this property market? Why is it? Is it shortage of housing? Is it cheap money, cheap interest rates? There's a momentum that's created in these markets and it causes FOMO and it pushes people in to buy now, get it now, and don't miss out. The truth is, you will never miss out. So super important that we educate ourselves through these cycles, what's driving them, when's it going to run out of steam, and make sure you're making smart decisions and educating yourselves to figure out what you want to buy and what value looks like. So what is value? Because there's good markets, there's average markets, there's poor property markets. You can find value in all these different property markets, but it starts with understanding what's driving the market, what are you looking to purchase, and what value looks like in that product that you're looking to purchase. And another one, just on the FOMO, the media and everything that's surrounded by, whether you're surrounded by the social media, TV, headlines, newspapers, whatever it is, the media really gets a hold of it and essentially inflates it to a more aggressive place than it actually is. So when the media gets hold of it and they say it's a bad market, the market probably really isn't as bad as what they're saying because they're trying to sell fear. Obviously, when they're saying it's a good market, it's a hot market, and you need to get in, you actually don't need to get in as much as they're saying. And the market isn't as hot as they suggest. So they play in the extreme. So super important that you don't get caught up in the media because they create a lot of this FOMO and a lot of this perception and potential reality that just doesn't exist. So make sure you keep a close eye on what the media is saying, but then go deeper, figure out what's actually happening in these markets. And you'll probably find the market isn't as bad as you think and it isn't as hot as you think. And before we get into the next one, guys, it's things like FOMOing in and essentially buying in poor locations. It could mean busy roads. It could mean poor streets, poor suburbs. It could mean poor orientation. All these inferior items and these criteria boxes that good investors tick, FOMO creates this inability to do proper due diligence, make proper decisions and make sure we're making that, because the decisions we make and the properties we buy, the property developments we do, or the long hold purchases that we do, all these boxes that we tick, they're the things that are going to appreciate over time. Good street, off main roads, school zones, close to villages, close to reserves, orientation, block size, type of home. All these sort of things matter, but when we get in these FOMO cycles, people will not do their due diligence properly and potentially FOMO and say, I just need to get in. I'm going to buy on a main road. It's a bit cheaper. I'm going to do that. But that's going to stunt your growth over the long term. So super important that we still boil it down, we stay disciplined, and we do our due diligence through these cycles. You're not going to miss out. All right, guys, let's talk about patience. Patience in property investment, okay? Super important. Now, we're going to talk about the macro market and timing those markets. And as people say, it's time in the market, not timing the market. Timing the market is very hard, but it doesn't mean that we can't buy smart and can't buy with good due diligence, good research, and be patient and make sure the right opportunity pops up. Because we've got to remember back when property boomed in COVID, when money was super cheap, interest rates 2%, 2.5%, property boomed on the back of COVID there. So there's a lot of unrest and a lot of uncertainty when COVID hit. But when we get to, say, end of 2020, 2021, property market really started to boom and money was still cheap. Now, if those property investors had have waited a year or 2 years, sort of getting into 23, 24, potentially they're buying property 5-10% cheaper. like for an average property might be $50,000 to $100,000 cheaper. Now, to buy something in a stronger market, a market that's hot and you've sort of dived into, and then to lose that, circa $50,000 to $100,000 in that property you purchased, now you've got to make your way back up from there. Remember, you've paid stamp duty as well. $1 million property, pay your 5% stamp duty, and then maybe you've come off $100,000 as well. So suddenly your $1 million purchase is 150 grand behind. It's worth maybe 950, and it owes you $1,050,000 with stamp duty and all your on roads there. So super important that we acknowledge these things. Timing the market is hard, but getting involved in a really sort of toppy market that is moving quite quickly, it will stop at some point, and you don't want to buy at the top of that cycle as it's coming back down the other side, because markets that get hot, they will cool off at some point. It's just that's what it tells us. Now, obviously, as we know, here in Victoria, market's flat, been flat for a while. Other parts of our country, our great country, Queensland, WA, Adelaide, all these markets have been through a good cycle. So it's important that you understand the market that you're in, what's driving these forces, what's driving this market growth, and when are you going to get involved? Okay, so there's the macro elements to it. People that bought in 2021, 2022 probably copped a bit of a haircut. Now, that's unfortunate. You can look at it in a way that, okay, I am in a hot market. Maybe I need to keep my powder dry, potentially, and then wait for a lesser market. And like I said earlier, the media drives a lot of this, all right? So when the media's saying it's a frenzy and property prices are going up aggressively, that's potentially a time to cool your jets, watch, do your due diligence, do your research, look for bargains. Because remember, there's bargains in good markets and you can overpay in bad markets. The key is to make sure you're getting bargains in bad markets, because you can still overpay in bad markets. And make sure when you're in good markets, you're being disciplined and you're still getting something with value. Okay, so that's the macro market of things. Obviously much harder to control. And that's the thing, when you're looking to buy for yourself or buy for your family, buy an investment property, the time that suits you may not suit the market, or you may not even know exactly what the market's doing. So if it's right for you, well then do your research, be disciplined, and play in those markets, but just make sure that you're not overpaying and you're not FOMOing in, like I was saying earlier. All right, let's look at the micro buying cycles and the micro disciplines that we need to implement to make sure that we're finding value in the market that we're playing in. And I can talk about a couple of case studies. And I talked about this over on the development show with Gav a month or two ago, where a client set a limit. We're in a bad market here, remember? But we can still overpay in a bad market. So they set a limit, they stopped at their limit, they waited a couple of weeks later, they missed out on that auction, someone else bought that, someone else overpaid, in our opinion. So, and then a couple of weeks later, another property pops up off market in a bit of a different area. The example was Doncaster East and Doncaster, different area, and popped up for much cheaper, and it was like $180,000 difference in purchase price. Now, I'm not saying they were exactly apples and apples, but a much better development site here, slightly lesser area, but better development site, clients paying less holding costs, less stamp duty, the list goes on. So apples and apples, a better development site in the macro. So not saying they saved 180 grand, but better development sites. So it paid for them to wait. It paid for them to be disciplined, to know what they were looking for and wait, and be happy to let that one go and be confident another one is going to pop up. So this is what I'm saying. So the market is a bit flat now. Interest rates have been high for a long time. So when you're looking for opportunities, make sure you're doing your research. What are these things worth? What are they selling for? Can you get an off-market opportunity? What are things selling for at auction? Are auctions actually hot? Is there multiple buyers at auctions in your area? Okay, so these are all the things that you need to understand, and you can pick up 5% in the property price with your ability to understand what's out there, to be disciplined, to not pay too much at that auction, to pull out. When you pull out of an auction and you've got a buyer looking for something similar to you, and that buyer purchases that property, arguably a bit higher than what you think, it's super important to understand that buyer's gone now. That buyer's gone. So that family or that investor, they're looking for similar things to you because you're at the same auction together. That buyer is now gone. Now, I'm not saying there won't be other buyers, but there's not an endless supply of buyers looking for the stock that you're looking for. So make sure you appreciate that walking away from an auction means that there's one less buyer who might be at the next auction a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, or you might be negotiating on a private treaty. That buyer's gone. So stick to your limits, stick to your numbers, stick to your research that you've done, and make sure that you're not paying too much, because you pay an extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you've got to now see that growth to pick that up. And we can do that in good markets, intermediate markets, or really poor markets. So make sure whatever market you're playing in, that you are getting value in that market. And guys, before we wrap up, emotional buying. So letting the money burn a hole in your pocket. You've got a pre-approval. Things are happening fast. You just want to get it done. The key is to stay disciplined, stay educated, continue that education piece. And if you're looking for a support network, littlefishnetwork.com.au. Inside there, you've got people helping each other, talking people through things. And it can be a lonely journey. You can be on this buying an investment property, buying a property to live in. It can feel quite isolated. So jumping in a network like the Little Fish one, Australia's fastest growing property network. So you get in there, it's free. Thank me later. And get in there, use that as a support. It'll go a long, long way. So make sure we're staying disciplined, make sure we're staying the course, and happy to miss out on a few. Every one you miss out on, you learn something, and it gets you in a better position to find and identify the site, the property, whatever it is, that is going to be the ultimate one that's going to suit you the best. And like we said, these are $50,000, $100,000 decisions that you're making. If you overpay, it's going to stunt your growth and it's going to hurt your portfolio. So make sure you listen to that, guys. And remember, if you're looking for buyers advocacy, Little Fish do that as well. Book a consultation with me. Talk to me. If we can help, I'll definitely point you in the right direction and set you guys up, and we can definitely do it for you. So, all right. Love it, guys. Great app and an episode that's going to stick with us for a while, okay? This is an evergreen one that's going to go the journey, because these are the fundamentals. These are the lessons that we need to move forward on our property journey whilst we're building our portfolios. Guys, anyone that's hung around this long, really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, get across to Apple, Spotify, drop some 5-star reviews. Really appreciate you guys hanging around this long. Couldn't do it without you. And this is why we do it. So if you're here, again, jump in that Little Fish network. That's where all the value is. All right. So a lot of this content we package it up and we redistribute it and put it into educational masterclasses and courses to help you guys. And it's all bloody free. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great week. See you soon.